Good evening, one and all. Hello, welcome to the Gaming Pantry, broadcasting live on Sunday, the 3rd of April. Yes, it is. We've gone through 3 months already this year. I cannot believe it. But we're live. This is the tNb Gaming Podcast, and a very good evening to you. This is the Retro Bear. We got a new graphic. More importantly, the television works. Those of you regular viewers will know my television developed some sort of fault, probably about 3, 4, 5 months ago, and it hasn't been on since. I tried it all this afternoon, and it's great. So hopefully that'll keep working in the background for the duration of tonight's event. If it does, by the way, start smoking or flashing or doing something which it shouldn't do let me know, because the chances are I ain't gonna be able to see it. I might smell it at some point, but if it does go, just put a message in the chat and advise me. Speaking of the chat, we've got our panelists waiting, ready to go. We got one who's coming a little bit late. We had, unfortunately, Sean dropped out this afternoon. Sean was advertised to be here, but he's got the flu. So get well, Sean. We'll hope to see you back here very soon. Let's see who's in the comments. Pixel Plug is here. Good evening to you. Gavin, SnoopyMan79, who was with us on Owl's Fall Guys Friday. Good to see you here. Retro Claire manning the downstairs. Hope he's standing by with the fire extinguisher just in case something does go wrong. Susie's here. Susie, good evening. If that works, there we go, Susie. Nice to see you here again. Paul Retrobates, good evening to you. Thanks for those messages last night, mate. Sorry I haven't got back to you, but I will do at some point. Speaking of Big Game Al, he's here. He's always here. Hope he's recorded after WrestleMania with his, what is it, 30 beers and 10 pizzas over 2 nights. Was it 10 pizzas, 10 beers and 30 pizzas? I can't remember what he said on the bootleggers last night. Retrodome Music, all the way from Germany. Good evening to you. Hope you're well. Red 7, all the way from Dubai. See the international flavour once again. Yes, good evening, my friend. Hope you're okay. Not sure what time it is over there. Is there much difference between here and Dubai? I don't know. And who we got here? Yorkshire Boy 82. Good evening, host. Yes, good evening to you. Nice to see you here. Name I don't recognise. YouTuber of the Year is here as well. We should be bowing and gesturing in his general direction. Stuart, good evening to you all the way from Scotland. So that's great. Right. Yes, so we've got an interesting subject tonight, but one of these hypothetical, I suppose, dream scenarios. The subject tonight, which will be in about 45 minutes' time, because we have a chat about other stuff first. We are discussing this evening if you were lucky enough to win the lottery, or indeed a large sum of cash. We could all do with a large sum of cash at the moment, considering what's happening out there. Rather than spend it on essential things like food and fuel, what 3 items would you add to your gaming collection? That is going to be our subject with our special guest who I'll bring in at the moment. So if any of you have any ideas about that when we get to that subject, do post them in the comments. I will try and get to as many as possible. Very, very quickly, an update from Dubai, 4 hours ahead. Blimey, that's 1 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock at night, midnight, blimey. Burning the midnight oil. That's brilliant. James, Game Zone Bird Room is here as well. Hello, James. Hope you're all well in Scotland as well. She prefers a courtesy. That says courtesy. Yes, even anyway. Trevor, good evening, mate. Hope you're okay as well. And Retrodome Music, yes, dreams tonight. I was hoping someone had already hit the jackpot here. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? We'd know sooner or later if somebody did win the jackpot. But yeah, it's going to be a bit hypothetical. Right. For my wittering, let's bring in our special guest this evening. I'm very, very pleased to have this gentleman on tonight, because somebody I met a few weeks ago, which is fantastic. He's got started a channel probably, again, I'd say in the last 6 months to 12 months. I'm not sure the exact dates, but he'll tell us that shortly, I'm sure. And getting a lot of interest at the moment. If you've not seen Generation Pixel's latest video, which came out today, I think it was last night, about the YouTube of the month, do go across, because he's one of the nominees. He's obviously riding the crest of the wave at the moment. So let's not delay any further and bring him in. It is retro and import gamer. It is James. Good evening to you.
Hello, everybody.
He is here with his pink hat on, his trademark pink hat. The only man who can make pink look good on YouTube. I don't know how you managed to do it.
It's just a knack.
and live from your loft space as well, that fantastic gaming area behind you.
Live from the loft, yeah. I might borrow that, Russ. I could use that as a kind of a video topic.
You'd have to fight Pete for it first, because he's got his lad loft. Well, I don't know. You can negotiate it afterwards, so that's not really a problem. Yeah, trust you well, and like I said, congratulations on your YouTube of the Month nomination.
Thanks very much, Russ. Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. Got a bit of a cold, but battling on.
Oh, unlike Sean, who decides to stay in bed, that's okay. So at least you're here. That's
yeah, I'm hardcore.
That's it. Yeah. Well, they're meant to breed them tough up north, but you're here, so you're from my neck of the woods, so that's not so
That's
bad.
right.
But yeah. So I mean, just before we carry on, I mean, obviously being nominated for YouTube of the month, that's probably you said earlier we had a quick chat beforehand. You were quite chuffed with that, weren't you?
Yeah, I'd be taken aback really. Ed Ed sent me a message, asking if I minded if he nominated me, and I was chuffed, obviously, and not something I ever expected to be doing. Certainly not this early on, like you say. I've only had the channel about 7 or 8 months, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was an amazing gesture on Ed's part. Really chuffed.
Should also mention we've got Daily Retro's been nominated. Games and Birdery Mention's been nominated as well. And who were the other? Retro Reminisces, I think, was one of those. I'm not a channel I'm aware of.
And Dad Racer.
And Dad Racer, yeah. I think I've done a shout out for Dad Racer before, probably in the last year or so. So yeah. So
Yeah.
if you follow YouTube of the month, or you never followed YouTube of the month before, go across and to Generation Pixels channel, and that new video's up there for the voting procedure, and you can see what's going on there. Very, very quickly into the comments once more. Trevor and Arcade Machine. That's what we'll talk about later on. Yep. So we'll come to that a bit later, Trevor. But yeah, I think Arcade Machines could be quite high on people's lists. Ian from the RGB Gaming Podcast. Yes, I'm very well. Ian, hope you're okay. Saw you on the Bootleggers last night. Joe Gaming Girly. Joe, thanks very much for being here once again. Lovely to see you here. I would love to get you on the podcast at some point, Joe. Please get in contact. Find a way to. I'll put a link to my email below if anybody wants to come on the podcast. I'll talk about that at the end, but I would desperately love to have Joe and hopefully maybe 8-Bit Rach and Retro Crazy Gaming, Martin's the Game Masters other half as well. I'd love to get some ladies on here to have a different perspective, because it's all very well us, the guys, being on here, but it'd be wonderful to have some of the girls on as well. So if you are interested, Joe, please do get in contact. Big up the Bromwich Pixel Plug. Yeah, I know you're from around this way as well. So let's just see how we get on with that. Right, let's bring in tNb regular panelist, I suppose. Really, he's a regular panelist because he's in his loft as well. We've got 2 people in loft tonight, so it's very good evening to Pete Fighter 2. Hello, Pete.
How are we doing?
I'm very well, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Just had a couple of weeks off work and I'm feeling nice and relaxed.
Oh, good. I'm at work next week and then I'm off for a week. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah, I'm back on Tuesday.
I've been, apart from having a couple of days off to recover from watching American sports long into the night, I've not had a day off this year yet. So I'm beginning to feel the stress a bit at the moment.
Yeah, I think. Well, we had a week off in January, but apart from that, this was our first. And feeling the stress. I know what you mean by that. I'm not going to go into
that. No. And you've just had your birthday as well. And if anybody's seen it, you had got 2 videos out this week as well, didn't you? About what you've had birthday wise and what pickups you've had as well. So
yeah, because I ended up buying a few things which I don't tend to do now. But yeah, I thought it would best split into 2 rather than have like an hour and a half long video. So
well, that's hour and a half long videos are fine. I'll certainly get away with them anyway. So, but yeah, Nameless Game is here as well. Good evening to you. Not seen you in here for a bit, but nice to see you back. Right, so while we're waiting for our other panelist to turn up, he just turned up. He's not connected to device or something. So we'll wait a moment. Or is he ready to come on now? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come on? Yeah, okay, I'll give him a thumbs up. Anyway, he's had a long old day, and I'm pleased he's made it. It's been a fair bit of journey. I'll bring him in now. It is Rollercore. It is Eddie. Good evening. Hey. All right.
Now then, how are you all doing? Like I said, yeah, it's been a big day. I've changed my game room around, and it's I'm a bit knackered after, actually.
I was going to say, it's a completely different angle, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, we're at a new angle right now. Yeah. I'll chill my Mega Drive off a little bit more.
Is there an arm next to you?
Is there what? No, Pocky, hang on.
Oh, Pocky's there, yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
She's the eye candy. There you go.
That's good to see her doing so well as well. So yeah. Now you're refreshed and ready to go. Do we need to wake you up at some point? Or?
No, I've got a beer. So as long as there's beer involved, I am refreshed.
That's good. Right. Okay. So we always kick off the podcast with what we've been playing recently. Or there is somebody sat next to you, isn't there?
No, why would there be?
Because I can see an arm.
Next to me.
I can see an arm. So there's definitely something there.
No, I don't think. I think you're.
No, okay.
Yeah, I saw something move then.
Something conveniently moved out of shot. I don't know what it is. Okay. We'll let James come in. James, have you been playing any games lately, or anything that you could recommend to us that you've been going through?
Well, I tend to play quite a bit, but not very much of anything. I tend to play sort of half an hour or something, and then move on to something else.
You like me? Yeah.
Yeah. It's the problem with having too many games, I suppose. I have been playing this quite recently.
I should give you the big screen. Hang on a second. So there we go.
There we go.
Good man. Good man.
Renovation at its finest. Well, not its finest.
I've not actually tried mine yet. I've not fired it up yet.
Yeah, there's some real good stuff on here. I mean, there's some of it's not really my cup of tea in terms of there's some sort of adventure role players, but in terms of a cartridge, I think there's some amazing stuff on here. It costs you hundreds to buy these on the Mega Drive, some of them. There's 3 shooters. Gares, I don't know how you say it really.
Gares.
Yeah, that's a bloody good game, that is. But I'm finding it difficult. And Granada X, that's the one that shocked me. I was really surprised by that. A cracking game, I think. The Soul Feast is obviously on the Mega CD, but there was a Genesis version. I don't know if it came out Japanese, actually. On
the Genesis, it was called Soul Dees. It wasn't sort of a feast, it was a Dees.
That's right. That's what this is.
Yeah.
But it really surprised me. I mean, I did like it on the Mega CD, but it's just as good on here, really. It's just the music that seems different. But it's a cracking game. And we've got Arcus Odyssey. I think that looks a reasonable role player. But it's the shooters particularly, and the Valis games I think were reasonable as well. I quite like them. And then there's one called El Viento.
Yeah, you don't want to like that game.
I think it's all right.
if you like wiggly arms, like what's them things outside of car showrooms? That's how
yeah. Oh, I know what you mean.
How it plays.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But the El Viente games, they're very expensive as well.
Oh, exactly.
Because of how ridiculous the game became.
Yeah, that's the fascinating thing. I just think the value on this cartridge is amazing for 15 or 18 quid, whatever it is.
Oh, the value runs into like the thousands.
Exactly.
There's no renovation game that is worth only 18 quid. So just buying that one cartridge is... I've always said that is the best game that's ever been on the Evercade. The best collection.
Without a doubt.
And it's not because of the expense, it's because of the quality of the games.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could buy a VS system and this cartridge for less than one of the Mega Drive games, probably.
Definitely.
So, you can't go wrong. If you've got an Evercade, you've got to buy that, in my opinion.
Have you got much of an Evercade collection, James? I mean, I know Pete has. I mean,
I've probably got about half of them. I haven't got the 2600 ones. I haven't bought them, and I've only got one of the Lynx ones.
To be honest, they're the ones I play the least.
Yeah.
Them and the Namco ones.
Yeah, I don't fancy the Atari ones much, but I've never got much nostalgia for the Atari because I never had one. You see.
Yeah, same. I'm a bit young for that kind of thing as well. I hate saying that, but
yeah,
so I never
had one.
But it's like stuff like that, stuff like the really old stuff, like the Atari ones, the Namco ones, and the Intellivision ones as well. I just don't play those, but
ones. Yeah,
I don't know a single person who's had the Intellivision, so I've just never come across it.
Yeah, well, I used to have the Intellivision, the actual console.
Oh yeah.
Because of one game, Astro Smash, which I think is amazing.
People have told me I should play that, and I tried it, and
it's fantastic.
No.
But once I knew that was coming out for the Evercade, I sold the actual Intellivision just so I, get something out of the way, basically, and I could play it on the Evercade. And it's obviously a nicer picture quality than the original Intellivision. So yeah, I thoroughly recommend that, mate. Definitely, just for Astro Smash.
I'll give it another go then, but I think I can't remember who else told me about it, but someone did. Might have been Retro Ed, I don't know, but no, I did try it for like 5 minutes and just couldn't get my head around it.
Oh, I love it. It's just arcade fun, and it's it's so addictive.
Yeah, Joe
Give it
says
another
she
go.
never had an Atari, but loves the Atari 2600 play that they have to work. Lovely.
I love my 2600. But I can see why people hate it. I
agree.
only love it because of nostalgia. It really is just nostalgia. But at the same time, I sense it's just good gameplay. That's all it is. Good gameplay. Don't forget about graphics. It's just like most games are built around what the 2600 made.
Yeah. I mean, I've got my 7800. I've never owned a 2600, but I got my 7800, and I do like it, but I just don't have the nostalgia for it.
Yeah, same here. I've just never. It's never grabbed me because I didn't play one till probably the 2000s.
Oh, really? So what? So in the early 80s, what did you play? Because
yeah, I had a Spectrum.
Like you're a little bit older than me, I think.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, I had a Spectrum for quite a few. From when it come out in '82. Had that up till about, I don't know, 86 maybe, when I bought a Master System.
Okay.
So no, never touched an Atari at all until, like I say, well into the 2000s.
Oh, right, okay, that's interesting.
Never knew anybody who had one, so never had any exposure to it.
Wow. Well, on the subject of the Evercade, I've got a question here from Yorkshire Boy 82. What is the Evercade opinions on here?
I feel like I need to answer that.
Well, you had your own section, didn't you? Pete's Evercade corner. I mean, go on, Pete. As you got yours there, I'm going to just bring you on the big screen. So let's have a look. There you go.
Yeah, I don't recognize your name, so I don't think you'll see my channel. But yeah, I have my own Evercade section in my room. I absolutely love the machine. It's I just think it puts games in my hand that I wouldn't ordinarily play. I've got like other systems like the Retro Freak and stuff, which will play loads of different consoles and play ROMs and stuff like that. But it's just having a little cartridge with 12 games on it from that I wouldn't have ordinarily picked up and played, and just trying them out because of that. I've found some games that I absolutely love. It's put indie games in my hand that I never would have been playing before. It's put I've never touched an Atari Lynx, and I played through that Dracula game and really loved it, the point and click one. Just stuff like that. It's just it's a gateway drug. It really is. I just I've been on board with it since they announced it, to be honest.
I mean, I picked mine up at the end of 2020 because I did a lot of people picked it up, and it's a good little system. I don't play it very much. It tends to, I don't play anything very much, but it tends to gather dust and stuff. I wasn't very keen when it first came out. I thought I'm definitely not be interested in that, but quite a few people said it was, as you said there, Pete, it was you put games in your hand and it was something a little bit different, I suppose, really. So I like the idea of the cartridges as well, the physical collection, which was appeals to a lot of people who do collect.
That's the thing I believe is what's made the Evercade so popular. I mean, I'm not an Evercader, but I've got a little Evercade section there. If you can see there, I don't know if you can see.
Oh yeah.
There's a little Evercade section there, but I'm not a fan of it. None of them are open; they're all sealed. And
you've got an Evercade solution there.
I think 90% of everyone's Evercade collections are like the same. They're all sealed because there is other ways and probably better ways to play them. That being said, I don't disagree with the Evercade because I feel it's good that it's all licensed publishing, which is great, I think, because it can. And the thing is, it's not licensed publishing where it's taking the piss, where like PlayStation has licensed publishing all the time, where it's like £4 a game. This is like £1 a game, if that sometimes. And I really rate that. I really do. I just think, honestly, hopefully the way that the Evercade is going, that it's just going to make the quality of the hardware better, because I think it's just the hardware that lets down the publishing. The publishing is great. Publishing is really affordable, and like for these old games, like games shouldn't be expensive that have been out for 20 years and have had the initial run of it. They should be affordable to the masses, because you can just, most people will just pirate them because it's so easy to do so. So why not make it affordable where the publishers will actually get something? But like Pete says, the thing that really that makes the Evercade shine above everything else is the indie games. I think the indie games section of the Evercade is great because not everyone's going to play every indie game, but if you put in a cartridge with some games that maybe you will play, you're going to play more, unless you're going to keep them all sealed like this one. This section here.
You've done a good job keeping those sealed.
I mean, I don't play my games. They're just here for a backdrop. And like I say, I've recreated this backdrop just in case.
And I think you or whoever bought them should unseal them and play the bastard games.
It's just for a backdrop, just backdrops only. None of these games behind me will ever get played. Just like you know.
We've had about like being on about putting games in my hand though, you know, like the indie games that I wouldn't have ordinarily played. It's actually pushed me to buy
hang on.
the indie games.
What's that one there? Oh, you've actually bought the physical copy. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, having finished Flea on the Evercade and loving it so much, I have actually bought the physical copy on the Dreamcast. So not only is it like Eddie said, it's putting money into developers and publishers' hands, whereas they wouldn't get it from piracy. I've like put double the amount in there.
Yeah, the worst kept secret of the last 20 minutes is now unveiled for everybody for all to see.
Hello, people of YouTube.
It would be taken over by Big Game Al. Hello, Alan.
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Yeah,
I've lost me horns. They've disappeared.
I think Eddie dismantled them and shut. There we go. He'll put them back on for you.
Don't know how to do them properly.
Slightly
I've got
strange.
a question from the public. If I could just have the big screen again for a second.
Yeah, you can, mate. Yeah, go on.
If you can make out what it says.
You left it here. Quick swap back.
Hang on.
Quick swap back.
Oh, it's not focusing.
Swap it back.
Says is Eddie a bit drunk?
Is Eddie a bit drunk? Possibly. Oh, it's changed back again.
No?
There we go.
All right.
I was thinking about myself, to be honest.
I had a couple of Pikachus earlier, but that's about it.
Just going back a bit earlier, 4-bit Atari is utter trash if you like coloured blocks, but that's why it was back then. You know, you had to start somewhere, and that's how gaming was. I wish I was a 2600 whenever I had one as a kid. No nostalgia, a few systems like the Mega CD that I never had as a kid, but also love them as well. So there is a bit of that. Anything else, James, that you want to share with us just on the subject of this before we move around the panel?
This is what I've been playing mostly, really, recently.
Okay, let's give you the screen again. And this is?
Oh man,
This
Can you tell us what that is, mate? Yeah.
Shine Ryu. That might not be how you say it. I could have butchered that. But it's basically a vertical shooter on the Saturn, obviously. I've never really been one for playing shooters because I'm crap at them, basically.
Everybody is.
Well, I'm terrible. But I really enjoy playing them. I'm just no good at them. So I'm trying to make the conscious effort to sort of persevere and try and improve. And it was Eddie actually who suggested sticking to one and getting to learn that game rather than trying, quite a few. So that's the game I've been trying to sort of persevere with and get better at. And so far I'm not doing too bad. I think I've got to level 4, which is quite good for me.
level 4 for any shooter is pretty impressive for any person.
Yeah, well,
like with one continue at least. Anyway, 4 is like when things expand, and you've done quite well to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how many continues I had. I can't remember. It was just whatever they gave me.
Oh, okay.
But, it's a class game,
I had Battle Squadron on the Mega Drive all the way through my childhood, and I think I only got to the second level in my whole childhood.
Oh God, isn't that difficult? I've only played that once years ago.
They're all difficult.
Well,
There's no
to
such
be
thing as
fair,
an easy shooter.
that's a fair point.
Battle Squadron is a good game, but it's like a Euro shooter, so it's like everything just comes directly at you.
Yeah.
So like it's just impossible. Where like the Japanese shooters, the AI is like it's easy to learn the patterns. There is patterns that will just come straight towards you, and like I say, you will learn them kind of patterns by learning one game. If you keep flitting between games, you'll never learn it. You'll learn the intricacies for one continue, and then you'll go to the next one and like go, shooters are too hard for me. Whereas if you learn that one game, you'll learn that intricacy of that game, and that will sort of translate to the next game. So you kind of like a little bit prepared, but like obviously every game is different. So yeah, you need to learn them properly before you can actually enjoy them. I think. I mean, like the thing is, shooters are great. It's all about the music. It's all about like the excitement that comes with shooters, but they frustrate people because they're fucking hard to start off with. But if you keep playing at a certain one, you'll learn to enjoy them a lot more. If you enjoy what you see at the start, it's always better to like just stick to one, I think.
Yeah, good advice, I think.
Yeah. Well, go on, sorry.
With retro games, we all do the same. Every retro game is like, and that's what we never had as a kid. We never was able to have that freedom of going from one game to the next, and that's not what games was never built to be. Like play one game, play the next game, and go on for the next. Games were just built to replay, and now we're older. Like I was saying to people earlier, like I remember having a 600 quid a month salary back in the day, and like games are like 40 quid. It's like a big chunk of your salary. Now my salary is a lot more than that now, and games are cheaper. So of course, like in balance is like mean that we're getting more games into our collections or whatever. We want to play them. We all want to play them, but we just don't give them the same time as if we spent so much more on them. Like we will put the time in back in the day, and that's how they was designed. So play them like that. Do you know what I mean? Play them like you've just bought them that month, and that's your last paycheck, because that's how you can enjoy them. That's how they're designed to be enjoyed.
Good advice, that, especially at the moment with what people say. Sorry, James.
Does make sense. That's it's a good logic, really.
Ross is here. Good evening to you. I noticed Gonaldinho, Rob has slipped in as well. Hi, Rob. Hope you're okay. 8-bit Rach is here as well. Rach, good evening to you. Rach, I was just saying earlier about, I think Joe seemed very keen to come on the podcast. I would love to get you on as well at some point, like both of you on at the same time. That'd be fantastic. If you want to get in contact, email is in the description below. It'll be great to have you both on. James, I'm going to move on from there. Thanks for sharing those with us.
No worries.
And Pete, I know you've had quite a bit lately, so any highlights that you want to share with us at all?
I've mostly been playing. I've got on a nasty Animal Crossing kick again because I got a Switch Lite for my wife Susie, and we've been playing it together, sort of thing, having his own island each. And you can do a thing where if you can have your island in the southern hemisphere where your months come in reverse. So like she's got one in the northern hemisphere, I've got one in the southern hemisphere, so we're sort of helping each other sort of double down on like insects and fish and stuff that we wouldn't ordinarily be able to catch and things like that. So it's been fun just sitting in the evenings and playing Animal Crossing with the wife. It's been a lot of fun doing that. And it's a massive time sink. And I've also been on WW2K22, which is another time sink for me with no real goal in mind. So that's been the most of my gaming for the last couple of weeks. I've been, in fact, I was playing it actually while I was waiting for you guys to turn up. While I've been sat here, I've been playing on Disco Elysium, which the only other person I know who's played it is Marcus from Dad and Lads.
Okay.
And it's like, I mentioned it in my video, and I've mentioned it in a couple of other things. It's like a sort of role-playing / point and click / sort of detective game / hidden object / visual novel kind of thing. But yeah, you're a detective who's a complete amnesiac. You just wake up in a hotel room, in like a trash hotel room, and you've got to solve a murder, and it's like in sort of retro futuristic, sort of like a war torn fictional country, which is like sort of like it's got weird sort of a mix of French, Japanese, and Russian kind of culture and way things are named and stuff like that. And it's just a really weird game. It's bleak and it's depressing. And when you're like all your skill points stuff, because there's no real combat in the game to speak of. So all your skill points and everything are all set onto like different aspects of your psyche and things you can do. Like you've got your physical strength, or you've got things that you can, like your flair for the dramatic. You've got like your detective skills and stuff like that. And you put all your skill points into that, and like while you're talking to people, there's all like dice rolls going for whether you can succeed or fail in different conversational pieces. And if you fail, the game just carries on. Sometimes, like I tried to slap a kid and I missed because my body wasn't built up enough, and I ended up falling over and hurting myself, and that took a hit point off me and stuff like that. And then you've got a morale kind of health bar as well, where say if you fail, if you like drastically fail an argument, you'll lose part of your morale as well. And if you lose all your morale, you'll die for whatever reason. I don't know. But yeah, it's like when you start the game, you'll fail everything. And I got so disheartened by it that I started it again with a different character build, and I was still failing everything. But as you sort of get onto like your second and third day of it, because it's got like it's a really unconventional time system. The time doesn't tick by while you're running around and stuff, but it ticks by as you're having conversations. So when you're on like the second or third day, you've usually like built yourself up and leveled yourself up, and also gathered as much information as you can to actually start succeeding in a few of these things, and you know, putting two and two together and winning arguments with people and things like that. And that just kind of pushes you on. And I think I'm at the very end of it, but from what I've been told and what I've read, it goes all Hideo Kojima at the end, and it's like a 90-minute conversation basically. So, I've been trying every second I've had, I've been trying to just get through a little bit more of this conversation, because I'm pretty sure I'm right at the end of the game. But yeah, at first I didn't know what to think about it, but I actually genuinely think it's brilliant, and it's like nothing else I've ever played. It's a massive experience.
Well, Yorkshire Boy X2 said it sounds like
massive.
Pikachu.
How long's massive?
I don't mean massive as in like how long it is. I mean, it's a good 20 hours, I'd say. But I mean massive as in like it's sort of important. There's been nothing like this, at least not to what I've played. It's like I would have described when Little Big Planet first came out, I would have described that as important. Not that it was something that I wanted to play, but just because of what it did for gaming.
I get what you're saying.
And this is kind of the same. But yeah, I just think it's an important game that people should play. And I'm not going to say you're going to like it, and you're not, or you're not going to like it. I just think it's like, I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's like gaming as art, which is a concept I don't really agree with, because I think it's just entertainment. But it's as close to art as I've seen in a game.
I'm looking forward to getting that game, actually. Yeah, there's a few people say good things about it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Too many good PlayStation games, though. Like, I'm wrapped up in it all. I like.
Well, I'm playing this on the Switch. I'm playing on the Switch, and
PS5 is no point. There's no point getting a PS5. It really isn't.
No, there isn't. I'm fully with you on that. But yeah, I'm playing it on the Switch, so and it does have a few running problems, especially when it snows. I think the particle effects slow it down a bit, and I'd heard about that, but it just feels like a game that I would play on the Switch over other systems. So, yeah, I think that's about where I'm at. Apart from I finished Beneath a Steel Sky finally. But
well done. Yeah.
I talked about that last time.
Yeah. Okay, lovely, mate. Just
yeah. That's where I'm at. That's what I've been playing.
Okay, lovely, mate. Thank you for that. Sorry to keep interrupting there. Rach, yes, says yes, should be great for the podcast. Yeah, email in description below. Get in contact, Rach, and we'll sort that out. Rob's quick response to you, Eddie. It's not money; it's the body with games. When we were younger, we bought one and had to play it for weeks. Now we buy more because we can, and they're cheap. So that goes back to Eddie's point a few moments ago. Question from Rock and Roller for Eddie: have you got Waifu on the Switch?
I do, yeah, but Waifu 2's now out. Waifu 2, what's that? I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, Waifu 2's actually out now, so get the second one too.
David, Retro Games Played Badly is here as well. Good evening, David. Hope you're okay as well. You know, if there's never a problem with the volume of games and the spec in the 80s for the Jolly Roger. Nate's here as well. Big Gamer X-Core. Yeah, he's worked it out. It took a lot quicker than I did.
Why don't you just let me now join in?
I don't know. I still don't get what you're on about. I don't know.
Happy to come on wearing a dress, Mr. Bear. Well, if you want to do that, David, that's fine. You know, it depends how drunk you are at the time, I suppose. That's we go.
It's dead, so at any given time.
Let's see. Oh, and Waifu Discovered, I think it is. Yeah, that the second one. Yeah,
It's Undiscovered and Discovered is the second one. Yeah.
okay. And Super Jim Tendo is here as well, all the way from Blackpool. Good evening. Nice to see you here. Eddie, anything you want to recommend you've been playing recently?
Do you know what? Like, I've had a bit of a lull of gaming, but recently I've had a proper like resurgence of gaming in the last month. I don't know what it is because I've actually been working quite a lot recently. Been doing 10 hours every day for the last month, which is good for buying nice shiny new things, but not great for gaming normally. But actually, it's been the opposite. I've played a few games, but like I just want to probably talk about two.
Okay, mate. Yeah.
I own the Game Pass because obviously it's PlayStation. Well, I say obviously, maybe it's not obvious. PlayStation month coming up. Hopefully, we're in April. April is PlayStation month, and hopefully people are going to be playing a bit more PlayStation. I'm not saying that you have to play exclusively PlayStation, but just maybe do something a bit fun where you will play PlayStation for whatever reasons. But yeah, PlayStation months come along, and I want to play one game of every PlayStation generation, and that includes a handheld. So at least 7 games this month I want to complete at least, which is quite a tall order, really. But yeah, on the run up to that, I've gone on playing the Xbox. Because obviously I want to change up a little bit, and I played the recent what's it called, Halo Infinite, on the Xbox Game Pass.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't like it. Oh, like for Xbox's flagship game, like Halo, like everyone knows when you think of Xbox, you think of Halo, don't you? Really? And I played Xbox Infinite as a one-player campaign because, to me, that's how I played my games. It might be better online, it might be, but I hated it. It was so dull. It was an open world game. All the enemies were the exact same enemies as each other, and it was just like, just keep firing at them. Maybe you'll kill them, or maybe they'll kill you, and then maybe you can move on to the next bit. And it just felt so random if I was going to kill them or not. With the same firepower, and like, yeah, the graphics were good, but there was good in a very basic way, if that makes sense. There was high resolution, there was definitely that, but like every area that you went to, it was like it was one of 3 areas repeated over and over again. I was like, for me, I like new things happening with me. And then I played it and I beat it. Yeah, it was great. That was the Xbox experience. Well done, Xbox. You did an average game. Then I played Shadow Warrior 2, which I've gotten a PlayStation 4. It's a sealed copy, and it's like £150 game. Like now, if I want to sell it, and I'm not opening it. But it was I don't want to open it. I don't like opening high value games because I didn't pay that. Obviously, I paid like 20-30 quid when it was new. So I paid that, and I wanted to play because I played the original one and I loved it. But it's on Xbox, so I played it, and I was like, man, I'm not a big first-person shooter fan, but like coming from Halo, which is the flagship game, to playing this game that's been out for 4 or 5 years. I was like, I love this 4 or 5 year old game. This game was like my game. I was like, I felt like I love games again. You know, that kind of moment where you've got a lull of gaming, because we all have it. We hate games, we love games, and it all depends on what you play at the time and how your mood is. Oh man, when I played Shadow Warrior 2 straight after that, it was like so accelerated. But I also knew that I had 3 days to play it, because in 3 days' time, Xbox Game Pass was removing it. I was like, oh man, I put all my energy into playing this one game, and I was like, I felt like I rushed it a bit because I got to it on the last day, but there was so many other missions that I could have done if I actually owned it. And I do own it, but I can't open the seal. And it's like so sad, really, because what's this bit of plastic, really? But yeah, oh man, I really applaud everyone to play. If you enjoy first person shooters and you like kind of like really cheesy humor, because I don't know if anyone knows what Shadow Warrior is originally.
It was Duke Nukem but ninjas.
No, well, it's basically based on the Duke Nukem engine. It was like one of them original PC games that was like high gore, high everything, high cheese. But it was like based on them same engines, but you had like a sword instead of like main first person shooter thing. And then they rebooted it, and this is the second reboot of it, because it did so much better than Duke Nukem, because I don't know what it is. They just did that 90s cheese well, where Duke Nukem didn't. They just relied too much on it. This did the 90s cheese, but like made it good.
Duke Nukem was that?
Yeah, I think it was, but we'll let it slide.
Are you actually drunk? Are you saying?
No, I've had a few drinks.
Pete, it's the internet connection.
Yeah, but the thing is,
with
with Shadow Warriors, the main character is called Wang, so there's a lot of Wang jokes. you know, and it's like every game has had a new Wang joke, and it keeps going on, and they just never get stale. I love it. I absolutely love that game.
You can't beat.
I got the first one on PS4, and I really didn't like it, and I used to love the original. So
yeah, no, I the thing is, the first one I got to a certain point and it crashed, and I could never get past that one crash. I would like clear the whole room of enemies, and I couldn't progress. And I was like, oh man, I was really enjoying it to now. But honestly, the second one just expands on everything and just like makes the original one like because there was a bit stale in the first one. This was just amazing all the way through. I really enjoyed the second one, and there's a third one coming out now as well. As like, I really can't wait for that now.
Okay, cool. I was going to jump onto the comments. We've had quite a few while you've been telling us about that one. Rachel's been playing Doom 2 on the PlayStation 1. That's this weekend. Cooper's World here, Steve. Good evening to you, mate. Hope you're well.
What are you playing
there we go. I don't know if Eddie's drunk. No, I think it's just the lag on the internet. I think that's what it is. Retro Chess here, and he's confused. That's okay. Join the club, mate. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. There we go. Yeah, Pixel Plug and David Retro Games. They talked about a game called Dustin on the Spectrum. So that's one there. Original version of Shadow Warriors on the PC is more than wicked. This is Retro Dome Music. Fairly sure Eddie's drunker than me. Definitely a first drinker than him.
What's he playing?
I'm waiting for the question.
No idea. Waiting for the question. Right, go on, Al. As you're here, or there, or wherever you are. What have you been playing then? Very, very quickly, go.
Right, so PlayStation 1. So I've been playing a bit of Batman, the arcade game.
The original one?
Put it over here, hold on.
Oh, hang on.
It'll be Batman Forever.
That's not special effects, by the way, just in case people are watching at home. That is his backside, yeah.
That one.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah. You shared that on the video the other night, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been playing a bit of that. It's not too bad as long as you play as Batman. If you swap over to Robin, I don't know what it is. He's just useless.
I think he was useless anyway, wanted to start with.
He's got no power. He's absolutely useless. So just don't do what I've done. I was a bit drunk when I was playing it, and I accidentally switched characters. I don't know how I've done it.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, halfway through, because like when you die, it's a bit like Streets of Rage. You can switch other characters. You keep trying to take my beer. There's your one.
Yours are fuller than mine.
That's because I've had loads today. You got down here too early. So yeah,
I think you need to make Eddie some toast or something.
That's not too bad. And then I started Sly Raccoon.
Oh, hang on. Let's just show that one because, Sly Raccoon. There we go.
I didn't realise how much this has actually gone up now because I only paid about $5 for it. But it's the one I'm still playing at the moment currently, so it's not in there. It's quite a pretty fun game. It's a bit of a stealthy platformer. I'm only a little bit of a way in, but basically you've got to try and avoid lights and bad guys with torches. So it's really stealthy. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it so far. And other than that, I've been playing Cars 2 on the Xbox 360.
Oh, the Disney one.
That's
just
awesome. It's a really good game.
I finished the first one, and that was a bit like kiddish with the more like open world style. And you're doing lots of missions. This one is more
It's like a racing.
and stuff,
Yeah. I had my nephew over one time, and he brought it with him, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm going to sit and play this all weekend." And it's a really good game.
Yeah, I'm actually enjoying it a lot more than the first one. I finished the first one about halfway through this one now, and I'm just really enjoying it. But yeah, we can both get on now.
HVB said you should play Sly on the PlayStation 3. There we go.
Hope you don't mind me raiding your stream, but
I don't mind you raiding my stream.
I've
No,
got
it's
a big game owl bigger than me.
Yeah.
I'm smaller than Eddie, really. It's a bit fun.
I tell you what through I expect Eddie to be sat in front of his game room. It looked like Eddie's game room to start with, and then I sort of realised that perhaps something wasn't quite right. And then I read what people had put in the comments, and then I didn't even twig the name either. So, as a message, you Al, yes, you did get me. Thank you for that.
We was trying to say like how long will it be until someone realises.
I've
And,
lost my
and,
phone,
and the loser necks that bottle of whiskey. Al, you need to neck it now.
What's that?
You need to neck that bottle of whiskey now.
Well, this little one. Yeah, I won't mind nicking a little one. It's the bigger ones you got to worry about.
Are you planning on seeing WrestleMania tonight or tomorrow morning?
Well, I was planning on seeing it tonight, and then Eddie said he was coming to stay. So, and we've been down the pub since about 3 o'clock.
A couple of hours ago,
Yeah.
Couple of hours, yeah. Well, it's good to have you here, Elga. Thanks for coming on, mate. That's
What's Pete drinking? I want to know quickly.
Depth charge, spice rum.
Ooh.
Depth charge. Ah.
Well, I've not had that. I like rum though.
It's like Kraken. They call it depth charge because it blows Kraken out of the water, apparently.
That's on my list now. I'm going to be searching that in a minute.
I do still prefer Kraken.
I love how people show the palms to like help focus things, but like if I do it, it makes things like worse.
Yeah, we have done that the other day.
Okay, so let's move on to our subject because our guests have been sitting there very patiently waiting for us to move on to the subject of the week, which I said at the start. You weren't there at the start. We're talking about if we were lucky enough to have a lottery win, what 3 items would we add to our collection? James, why did you pick this subject for us to discuss this evening?
Well, I just thought it was a bit, everybody, I'm sure has got things they dream about owning, but realistically probably never will. And I just thought it might be open to some really unusual things that people might like, and now they're never going to actually own.
Yeah. Because I think you said initially like 3 items, wasn't it? So I think the plan was to go around each one of us in turn, and then we have an extra person as well. I hope you've given it some thought, Al. By the way,
no.
There we go. Yeah, well,
see what cost the most.
They might be the best answers.
That's probably good. Yeah, it was going to go to the top of his head, I suppose. Really. So I mean, James, do you want to kick us off then? So I'm. On the proviso that you won this large sum of money, you could buy anything you wanted to add your collection. What would the first item that you would go out and get?
Well, the first thing, it's something that a lot of people might think, well, it's the last thing I'd want to buy. But it's a console that I've never had, and it's the one console that I've always been curious about and never actually bought. I don't know why, really. I mean, they used to be reasonably cheap, but now they're quite expensive. And that's a Virtual Boy.
Okay.
Something that's always interested me. I'm sure it's total rubbish, and I'm not sure I could even actually use one because I get motion sickness. But it's just something that looks really wacky and out there. And it's just always fascinated me as to, what they're like and what the 3D is actually like and if it's any good. And
See, it was going to be the future at one point, wasn't it? This was where we were meant to be going, and everything. The future was red, and black.
I mean, I would imagine it looks terrible when you actually, try to use it.
James, it really doesn't. Like,
Really?
honestly, like a Virtual Boy is an experience that every gamer, proper gamer, needs to have. And the thing is, go to Play Expos or anything like that. There's like multiple Virtual Boys. James, come over to my house. I've got a Virtual Boy. And I would love you to come over and visit as well. Like, have a go. Because honestly, it's a great experience. And you should
That's good to know. Because I always thought I'd be disappointed if I actually got one.
I think, honestly, it's as a long-term prospect, probably is quite disappointing. It really is. Like, as a value, what it is right now, it is very disappointing. But it's something that every game, virtual reality, I would say is a great experience. I think the Virtual Boy is probably more of an experience because it's so early into that world of it that it's really impressive.
Kind of ahead of its time at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah,
really?
Definitely.
You could even ask Dana, I suppose, next time you go to his shop, and he might bring his one down there to let you have a go on it.
Oh, no, there's an idea.
Because he's got the multi-cart and everything on it. I suppose you've got it as well. Have you the multi-cart?
I've not got a multi-cart now. I've got plenty of games though.
Anyway, Games Zone Birdroom don't agree with you.
No, he put that on there.
James,
console.
come up to see me, man. I'm only a couple of hours up from the road from you.
What's all this anyway? You can tell you're drunk because of all that.
He's admiring my new display.
What was you talking about earlier about the arms? I've just got that in my head. Yeah, come see me, James.
It's funny you say that about your motion sickness thing because you can actually get kits now to attach to them which consoleizes a Virtual Boy unless you play it through your TV.
Oh,
yeah, because I have problems with seeing 3D on stuff. I don't know if it's because I've got a massive head or what, but I just can't focus on 3D stuff. I can't do the 3DS properly without ghosting on the screen. And for a while I borrowed a PlayStation VR headset and it was the same with that. I could not get it focused properly.
Oh, right.
I think it's just the spacing in my eyes or something like that just won't work. So I'd probably be the same with that. So that's how I'd probably have to go.
The spaces for all that because everyone's eyes work differently.
Yeah, but I just can't get it to work. I could sit there for ages sorting it out, at least on the PlayStation VR, because they've got the spacer thing on that. Just could not get it to work properly.
Question from Games Zone Birdroom. Did anyone else Sega plan to do a response to that? Because usually they were trying to outdo each other, so I'm not sure.
There was, and there was an Atari Jaguar one as well. There's both of them did virtual reality, but only Nintendo actually released it.
Okay, I wasn't aware of
that.
that.
Sega did it because they couldn't get the frames per second good enough. Because obviously it was a 16-bit system, you're not going to do it. They had the technology right, but they just didn't have frames per second because it just made everyone feel sick straight away from playing it.
Harash Ambassador, what's a Virtual Boy cost? Surely doesn't need the lottery win. Well, it probably wouldn't, but it's more than I would throw at something. So a bit extra.
How many Sly Coopers do you think it costs to buy one?
What's Sly Cooper go for now?
I don't know. That's the question, really.
Yeah.
Expensive game.
It is compared to most of the other PS2 games, well, not compared to the really expensive ones, but
that Michigan one. That Michigan was it? Yeah, £500 or something. That one, isn't it? Yeah. Joe says she had a lot of money. She would get her own place, renting and get a 2-bedroom place. She have a games room, board game room with a crafty table, arts and crafts. She'd given that some thought, hadn't she?
Surely she'd get a 3-bedroom house. and have a
Yeah,
games room and a board room separate.
Yeah, speaking from experience, you need a game room and a board game room because both take up far too much room. In my flat, we had a board game room. In this house, we've got a game room. Can't have both.
You can never have enough rooms.
Oh, you can have enough rooms, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever we've got, we'll fill them.
That's it. And if we haven't got the space, we'll fill the space anyway. So
exactly.
Yeah. Pixel Plug says Nintendo World Championships Gold cartridge, an Amiga 1200, and a ZX Spectrum James Bond action pack. Trevor mentioned this earlier, but he said he would get a few arcade machines, Daytona USA, Sega Rally, Mortal Kombat 2. Did see Marcus, Dad and lads coming early. He said he'd love to breathalyze Eddie right now. Big Duncan Woody Weevils here.
Everyone know he's driving home in a minute after the stream.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to wish you a safe journey.
I've only had one.
Marcus, I don't think the readings of the breathalyzer go that high. That was quite good. Susie says, does it have to be game related? She get herself a Dolph Ziggler manservant. I'm not sure why she'd want to do that. Dylan's here. Has Eddie hit the jackpot by going to Owls?
Yeah, I'm taking it all home for £100.
That's it, yeah.
Ross said, I actually don't know what I'll go for with a lottery win. Full-size snooker table, says Game Zone Birdroom. Woody Weeble said he would have bought Al the sealed copy of Teen Titans. He was too tight, complete.
Yeah.
Now they're not complete GameCube set. Right, yeah, James is next time. Yeah, we're gonna go round and do one each and just keep going round till we've done the three. So we'll come back to James's second. Pete, you're next. What's your first choice?
Back when I was a kid, there's one now and it's not very good, but there used to be an arcade in Meadowhall Shopping Centre in Sheffield, and in that arcade there was like a full-size sort of screens all around you. Ridge Racer setup with a real Mazda something or other in the middle. I don't know what cars are. I'm not a real boy, but it was like, I know it was a Mazda, and it was like a full, and it was even roadworthy because I've heard people taking these machines apart and like restoring the cars to be used on the road. So essentially, it was like a proper retail Mazda MX-5 probably, and then screens all around it, and you sat in the car and played Ridge Racer. And to my knowledge, that is the only one in the country, and it's now somewhere in Blackpool, but it could have moved on. Yeah, I'd have that.
It used to be in Blackpool back when I was a kid.
Yeah, I've sat it. I played it in Blackpool.
Yeah, I know I have. Yeah,
the one in Blackpool is the one that was in Meadowhall. They actually shipped it across when they closed down the arcade. So, but yeah, that's I'd priced it up at one point at 50 grand. So,
you've actually looked into the prospect then. Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah. It'd be one of those, like, I'd win the lottery, I'd get that, and then I'd build a game room around it. But yeah, that's something I've always wanted because I used to love just the feeling of just sitting in that car and driving.
I just didn't find it particularly interesting. I must when my friend of mine was playing it, and he still I sat next to him. And I sort of sat there, and thought, this is really just uninspiring. You're like sitting in the car pretending to play a game on a giant screen. It just didn't seem to work for me.
That's just playing games though.
But that price
But if the other point is sitting in the car and then sitting the game in front of it, you perhaps some sort of wind feeling or some vibration or something like that.
Could do some hydraulics or something, but
yeah,
you could customize it. But yeah,
with lorry, you can do anything you want with it. You could probably use it to run around the track.
Imagine though having somebody around. Imagine having somebody in your house though and saying, "Oh, do you want to look in my game room?" Opening the door and there's a Mazda MX-5 in the corner.
Yeah,
I'm just saying MX-5 now because that's a word that I know from occasionally watching Top Gear.
Yeah, and
I don't know what cars are.
And if Mazda are watching, obviously we're happy to keep plugging the word Mazda MX-5. We're happy to take any new models that you may have. Okay, Eddie and Al, as you're both there. Eddie, go on.
As I gate crashed, I'll let Eddie go first.
Well, not that I've ever thought about winning the lottery, but every day I've probably dreamed about it a couple of times. Yeah, so yeah, I'm quite a good expert of winning the lottery in my mind.
Like we all are.
Yeah. So to be honest, gaming is probably actually second choice of my what I would like to win. Well, first choice of gaming would be, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. There was a level
Vaguely, I've heard of it.
Burnside. I would like to build a house with Burnside level in my back garden. that is, oh my god, that is what I want to do. I would love to have a house with Burnside. Oh my god, that Burnside level that was in Tony Hawk Pro Skater was so legendary as rollerbladers as it was skateboarders. And when that came out, I was like, oh man, I would play Tony Hawk so much, thinking of it as I'm going to do some better tricks because I'm a rollerblader. That's what us rollerbladers do. We're better than skateboarders. I want that in my garden. But Burnside, oh man, it was so legendary. And it was always a skateboarders only level. Like, not level, sorry, but like place. Because it was actually based on a real area and stuff. It wasn't like just made up for a game. And it was like rollerbladers would fucking get killed for like even rollerblading there. But because it was just too embarrassed to think that we was better than them. That's all it was. But yeah, I want Burnside built in my back garden. That is number one of my lottery win. Not that I thought about this, but I thought about it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, good answer that one, mate. Yeah. I don't remember. How big would that actually be then? What
Huge.
sort of space would you need?
It'd be Burnside plus.
Yeah, but
Burnside plus, because honestly, my aspirations of all this, like, I can't do it. If I was to rollerblade now, my knees will break. Honestly, but I just want it. It's out of pure spite because rollerblades is better than skateboarders.
Would you have like inflatable? Would you have like inflatable skate letters dotted around the level as well?
Yes, yes, and there'll be a tape. There'll be a VHS. Unreachable, very unreachable. And if anyone can get it, they're fucking happy to get it. Yeah, man. You take that home, mate. You take it home because you've earned that.
Ow!
I could have went before Eddie. Who put me after him?
He wants another skate park as well. Yeah. He wants a BMX park this time.
Well, I'm going to go big with my first one because the rest of them are just going to be rubbish. But on the gaming related stuff, there's the rarest game in the world.
Is it one I'm going to make up in C++ right now?
And it's one that unless you knew about it, you wouldn't have a clue. It's on the GX 4000.
Right.
Which people say, oh, yeah, that's an easy full set to get. There's like 28 games.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them is Ryan Giggs Soccer. No, not right. Is it Gaza Soccer or something?
Ryan? No, it's not.
No, it's Paul Gascoigne's Soccer. That's the one, not Ryan Giggs.
So you put a lot of research into this.
Yeah, Paul Gascoigne's Soccer on the GX 4000. There is 2 known copies in the world. So if you want to get a full set of that system, good luck.
That's Gaza too, isn't it? Because
might be, yeah. I haven't done the research because I literally only found out I was coming on this like an hour ago.
Yeah, no, there were two Gaza games. One was absolutely terrible, and the second one was actually not that bad. So, yeah, but I
made it here first. He's a big Amstrad fan. Who knew? Who knew?
That's it.
So much.
Alan Michael Sugar is the main man.
Who?
Good job, Nave's not here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who? And on that note, Tottenham got a massive win today against the Geordies. Yes,
I did see that. Yeah, 5-1. 5-1.
Yeah, we was 1-0 down as well.
Red 7 says a Capcom cute candy cab or maybe a PC Engine LT for me. Not that rare items, but I just always wanted them.
Been rare. Been rare.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be. We say lottery win. I mean, yeah, money's no object, but for my first choice, because I've always wanted one of these, and that would be Operation Wolf arcade game, an arcade cabinet, because I just remember that game being one of my first gaming experiences. The arcade, you got that Uzi mounted on the front of it, and you got the recoil on it. I've always wanted to get one of those. And I don't want for much. I mean, you see, when James asked this question, I thought, well, what would I really want to have? And I thought, I don't really want anything stupendously expensive. I just want something that would be nice to sit in the collection. And I thought long and hard about that one. I thought, yeah, that would just suit me because it's a game I remember fondly. I'm very good at it. And if I'd put a proper bit of research into it, I could probably get one reasonably cheaply. I wouldn't need a lottery win to do it, but it's just got so much nostalgia for me. It came from that period in my time where you were influenced by things like Schwarzenegger films and Stallone films, and I love the concept of the game, and it was just brilliant. And even playing it on the small systems at home, it's great. But I just want the cabinet with a machine gun on the front of it. To me, that would just be brilliant to just stand there and just hammer that out all day. It's great.
Oh yeah.
You've won the lottery. You love that cabinet.
Yeah.
How about having paid actors to shoot at?
With live ammunition.
Yeah.
With live
No, he needs all that lottery money now to pay the electricity bill to keep it running.
That's it. Yeah, that's right. That's very true, actually, Al. Yeah. That'll be one of those things. Pixel Plug says Gaza 2 for the GX4000 was only sent to at least 3 magazines for review.
There you go.
Shelves. There we go. There we go.
I don't know if it's on my multi-cart or not.
I don't know. Might be.
Like I say, I got this multi-cart, and it's not got like a visual interface. It's got like switches. It's got like 5 or 6 switches on it, and it's like you put them in different combinations to start different games. And there was no list of what combinations of which games that came with it, but they had one on the website where I bought it from. But in between me ordering it and it actually reaching me, the website's warehouse burnt down, and they closed the website. So it's a horrible thing to laugh at, but I've got no list now of what games I've played, of which combinations. Rather than printing out like a whole list of possible combinations for these switches, trying every single one and writing down what game I get with them. I've just got no way of knowing what I'm playing. So occasionally I'll fire up the GX4000 and I'll just like flick a few switches and end up playing like Crazy Cars or something like that. But I've got no idea what's on it. Well, I do know what's on it because everything's on it, but I don't know how to access certain games.
It'd be worse luck if you end up playing Crazy Cars. That's a terrible game.
That's not bad.
Out of them 3 copies we know of, we know that Pete's got 1 copy of that Gaza 2.
On his multi-cart.
So,
Joe,
so not to jump on like I want to have a shooter, but like a shooter that I used to go to the arcades all the time. Can you remember like having a game that used to have a real air pistol and then you got like a ticket at the end of it where it was like where you shot at it? And
that one that we played at Arcade Club?
No, it wasn't. It's not an arcade club. No, I know what you're thinking. It was like it was back in the 80s, and it was like you shot like with an air pistol, and you shot a little card, and at the end of it, you got the card back out. I would love that arcade machine, but I don't know if I would spend my lottery winnings on it, though, to be honest, because I loved it, but like you were just showing out a card. But can anyone remember that?
I can't. I can't.
No, it rings a bell.
Like,
sorry, Eddie.
It was definitely a Blackpool thing, and like you shot a card, and at the end of it, you got the card, and you could see where it was actually pistols out of.
I do remember something similar to that.
If anybody has played it, put a comment in and let us know if they have done. So, just quickly, Stuart would like the Nintendo PlayStation prototype.
I was going to go for that, but I thought that'd be like one that everybody said.
Joe said if money's no object, she'd also have a game shop with an arcade and pinball room as well. So she's
by the end of this week, she's going to have a 10-bedroom house.
It's a small mansion somewhere, you know. Okay, so that's round 1, James. Back to you, my friend. Your second choice.
Okay, round 2. Now this is an item I remember seeing back in the magazines back in the day, sort of late 90s, maybe about around 2000. Sort of thinking, wow, this looks, incredible. I'd love to get one of them, but I've never actually seen one in the flesh. And that's a Panasonic Q.
Yeah.
Like I said, come to my house. You can see one if you want.
I think everything that you may want, James, is probably Eddie.
Yeah, I'm getting that impression. Yeah.
Like I can say, it's 2 hours up the road. I'll give you some cream cakes if you want. Whatever you want, come over.
Yeah, I might rethink my third one to see if I can come up with something incredibly dramatic.
Just quickly check his gauge room tour, see what he ain't got.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me 5 minutes.
Keith's here as well. Good evening, Keith. So why the Q then? Why the Panasonic Q,
Well,
mate?
I think more. I mean, obviously, it's just basically a GameCube in a sexy case. But I think it's just the look of it. It's so dramatically different to anything else, and it's the mirror finish, and it just looks so exotic. But you know, it's that much money nowadays. It's never something I would buy. But it's always fascinated me. It's like, I don't know. It looks like something you'd see in a museum. You know, like I say, I've never seen one in the flesh, and it's just there's a magical aura about it to me.
It looks like it's a special thing. It's been custom made, doesn't it? I think
It does exactly. That sums it up really.
How does it play, Eddie? As you got one, or
Like a GameCube.
I was going to say that exactly.
yeah. So
Like, I mean, the thing is, right? Like, again, it was always that mystical object. Well, the thing is, I was always like, oh, it looks like a CD player. Like, I always had it, and I've spoken to a few people who have said the same. You're going to go to a car boot sale, and you're going to go to a CD player, and you're going to think, how much is this CD player? And they're going to go, it's £2. And it's actually a Panasonic Q because they look very much like a 90s CD player. And like, that's what you're just hoping in the back of your mind. That's how you're going to get it. For me, it was car boot, man. That's how I got it. But I paid a fraction of the price to what they're worth. Is it going to get played? No, it's not. It's just going to be on the shelf because it looks so fucking pretty. But I like, for me, a Wii GameCube is best placed for a Wii because it just does. I don't know why. I prefer playing GameCube games with a Wii.
I've never actually done that. I should do that more often.
I think it works well.
I've never done that. I've always played the GameCube stuff on the GameCube. So
Panasonic Q just looks amazing on the shelf because
it does.
Beautiful. It really is.
And if you have one,
I always used to like really want one when I was younger, but like my attention gone more towards those Chinese N64s and a joypad that they had in hotel rooms in China.
Or the
awesome.
IQ. The IQ.
Yeah.
The orange ones.
No, there's just
Oh.
Yeah, I
literally just
them in the past.
Yeah, it's just a controller that plugs into a TV, but it's just got N64 games built into it. And it's you can take them to shops and get different games loaded on or something, can't you? Something like that. Well, you could in the past, at least. You can't now. But yeah, they look really cool. But that's not my second pick.
You chose it, now it's yours.
Yes.
You've won it.
Ross said if money was no object, he'd like to get a team of talented people together and work on a game. It's not a bad idea, that.
Oh, yeah.
Great people. Bro Seb's here as well. Hello, me, Al, James, Eddie, Chat. Is that your new name, Pete? Chat?
Must be. That's all right. I'll leave. It's fine.
Chat Fighter 2 sitting in the bottom corner there. Bro, yeah. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, I went past 750 on Friday. Thank you, mate. Almost 1,000. Yeah, we'll never get there.
Did I get you there? Did I?
Vaguely, I think. Yeah, it was on Friday night. It was 4 guys. Yeah. I said one of them would leave, and maybe two of them left shortly afterwards, so that was all right. Right then, Pete, your second choice.
My second choice is just any Japanese arcade candy cab. I think someone mentioned it earlier in the chat. I just love candy cabs. I think they look amazing.
Yeah, it was Red 7, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, there was like in Arcade Club upstairs, there was like a full wall of like Japanese shooters and stuff on candy cabs, and like I can't remember the name of it now. The name's escaped me. It's the one that was before Radiant Silvergun. That's the one. Me and Nave started playing Radiant Silvergun on one of those, and they're just really cool, iconic looking machines, and I just love to have one of those. It's like people are making wooden arcade machines, and I'm thinking of doing the same thing, but just to have one of those big plastic white things, it just look amazing.
Okay. Eddie, next.
James, if you want to see Radiant Silvergun, I got that from the car boot sale as well.
Oh. Yeah, that's on my list as well.
Sorry. So yeah, I've won the lottery, so I'm gonna reach for the stars. Sorry, like just as Peter said, it's got to be like I've got a lottery win complex on the go. Sorry, first part will be the Tony Hawk Pro Skater bit. Second part would have to be an arcade. It would, and it would be Candy Cabs, and it would be all the 80s games that we all grew up in. And it's like, I won the lottery, man.
Yeah.
It's not that my one thing would be a complex of things. So yeah, think big, man.
Think big,
like
yeah.
that's what I want. And yeah, my biggest dream would be having multiple games all run it at once. There's nothing better. I love games. But when you go to an arcade and there's multiple games playing at once, and there's that cacophony of sounds and like visuals, man, there's nothing better than that. There really isn't. And it's like modern arcades don't really like express that same thing that we had in the 80s, except for a couple, and that's Arcade Club in Bury, Arcade Club in Leeds. And I've won the lottery. That's what I want in like in this little area. Well, I say little, it's going to be huge. I won the lottery. Do you remember? I just won the lottery. Yeah, there's going to be loads of it. There's going to be a big area of arcade games because after I win that's the first thing I'm going to go for. Arcades, or like a big space arcades. It's not going to be easy. Even if I won the lottery, it's not going to be an easy thing to do. Really isn't, because it's not all about money. It's all about that dedication of finding what you want and acquiring it. Because you could just fill it up with just a load of crappy arcades, or you could fill it with the best arcades. And if you won a lottery, have that patience. Just do what you want.
Definitely.
That was an idea I was toying with as well, because I remember having a similar conversation when when I was growing up at school. We had to, I can't remember if it was some sort of lesson. We had to like design our own house, and we just decided, all of us, that we'd have a room dedicated to arcade cabinets with them running all around the outside. So that was one that definitely entered my thought. What about you, Al? You're half an hour trying to work this out.
Yeah, I'm a bit upset. He never said he wanted to buy Tony Hawk's to go with his skate park, but
I think he's a bit much into you. You want to buy him, yeah?
But if money's no object.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I've already paid up for Tony Hawk. So paid up for it. £200.
So where would I go there? I'd probably push for something that I'd never do now, just because it costs so much. I'd push for the Mega Drive set. Oh no, I've already got that. I'd go for the full Mega Drive set, which includes that terrible sports game that no one wants to buy, and as well as all of the Japanese games, when there's a lot of shooters on there that cost a lot more than that game. Well, not so much that game on its own, but all of them together cost more than that game. And that's Lakers versus Celtics. If anyone
versus Celtics, yeah.
But I'd buy the best copy of it. I wouldn't buy it there, because I could have got one for $2,500.
The mouldy copy.
Yeah, but it's literally, the manual is just like going green. And not the manual, the inlay. The inlay's going green, where it's like gone mouldy.
Oh my god!
But someone is selling like a good copy every now and again. It goes for about $8,000.
Used to be 3, didn't it?
Hey, got it quick. Oh, he's watching the same one.
Hang on, who's been out beating each other?
That must be James, because he wants everything you want tonight.
I thought he just
Bolt.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd want to get the full set, including all the American exclusives and all of the Japanese exclusives, just to so I've got an absolute complete full set. Yeah. But obviously, I wouldn't do that now, because the Japanese stuff is just ridiculous.
Yeah, Japanese is more expensive, definitely.
Yeah.
And you would be able to pronounce it anyway.
America, the PAL stuff is expensive.
Yeah, the Japanese stuff is mental.
And even American, like, come on, they like to spend their money, and it's not even as rare as our stuff.
Yeah.
Did miss a comment earlier from Retro Claire, because she said she would have a sit-down Star Wars arcade cabinet.
Very nice.
So a good choice, that one as well. I was actually going to pick that for her, but she's picked it already, so I'm going to have to think again now. Because if I'm on the games room, I've got to be a little bit, I suppose, considerate. And if she wanted something to go in there, I would certainly have bought her that one.
Yeah.
Pixel Plug said you can't beat the sounds of nostalgia of an arcade in early 80s, 90s arcade. Magical Sound Shower Outrun, Enduro Racer, Pac-Man, Waka Waka, WrestleFest, Robocop. Yeah, all those, all great classic games. Rachel was Arcade Club. I was there for 7 hours. Couldn't move my hands the next day.
Yeah. Okay, which one did she go to?
Yeah, which one was that one, right? Elemental Gear Bolt Assassin case would be a nice addition.
Oh man, it's like a gold case. It's so beautiful. No, it's a gold gun in a case. Oh man, it's so beautiful. It's like $2 or $3 if you want to buy it. But Arcade Club mid-May, we're all going to go. If you want to
go, the start of May.
No, mid-May, because Dana's shagging in beginning. So.
Yeah, he's doing that every weekend.
Well, Mr. STD. But yeah, like mid-May, we're going to try and get an Arcade Club together. So if anyone wants to come, like it is an open invitation mid-May, hopefully on a Saturday. We're trying to like make it that everyone's available. So most people that are available mid-May is like kind of what we're trying to aim for.
I think we're looking for the 14th of May.
14th of May. If everyone is available then, let us know. Just come there if you want, because we'll probably more than likely go. Just let us know.
And that's Bury Arcade Club.
Yeah, Manchester. Because it is the better one.
Don't turn up at Leeds, we won't be there.
Leeds is good, but like Bury's better. Let's just say. And Russ, you've got to go.
Yes. Well, I'll have a look at mid-May. You say, yeah?
I will pick you up on the way.
Yeah, 14th of May.
Okay.
Let's go.
In the beer fridge.
Where's that?
You'll see it when you go outside.
It's a one malt beer.
Mine's nearly empty.
Yeah. Question is, will he make it back? That's the other thing as well.
Yeah.
Or will he just carry on and go until he gets to the street and keep on walking? I don't know.
Yeah. Bury, that's good.
Ray said it was a one in Bury. Key said if money was no object, has we filled the room with arcade cabs. I think that's it. Which arcade club is the best? Always wanted to go. Bury's one that gets talked about a lot. Is it?
They're both good. No, the thing is, Leeds is good, Bury's good, but Bury's better. It's more retro.
Yeah, Bury's got the darker look to it, like the proper original arcade, whereas Leeds, because it's got all the glass front windows, is more light and open. Bury's the one. The top floor on Bury. The rest of them on Bury are all right, but the top floor.
That's better. That's more normal.
There you go, tall enough.
Yep.
This is more normal.
Yeah, he's really shorter than me, though.
Yeah, man.
I always thought you had a chair at an angle, but obviously it isn't, is it? So there we go. So my second choice, I would just go around filling in the gaps in all my collections, and just make sure I've got complete sets of everything. Because having thought long and hard about it, and this would involve Mega Drive and my television's gone off. What's happening now? That's interesting.
tNb's wide. Get it back on.
I'll have to see what happens. Oh, there we go. Because going to loop through those. It'll come back around in a second.
Playing your videos now.
Yeah, it's just playing some intros. It'll get back there in a second. So I would just go around filling in the gaps in all my collection, make sure I've got complete sets of everything, and I'll just be happy then. I can pick any game I wanted to play. Money being no object, I can get all the ones I'm never going to get forward and pick up, and maybe even like you said, I'll go down the obscure route, just pick up all the weird ones and the Japanese ones, and just fill out my sets and get them all done, and say, yeah, that's it. I'm absolutely happy, and be done with that.
What's okay? So you're saying all of them?
Yes.
What's the one that would make you the most happiest if you could complete?
Well, daft as it sounds, probably the smallest one of the lot, and that would be the Master System one.
Not the one behind you.
No, not that.
No. Sometimes that's it. Like the easiest isn't always the best. It really isn't.
Yeah.
The is easy. I'm not saying that at all. Probably is actually harder than the Master System.
Yeah, the Master System's gonna be easy.
I would say the Master System is probably the easiest right now because you've only got a handful of expensive games. Really expensive. Where the Wii's it's getting more and more by the day.
I think. Yeah, the Master System, when I started collecting for it and trying to pick these things up, I thought I'd really like to have a Master System set one day in complete fullness to say, yeah, I've got one set, but listen to what you're saying there. Then, maybe going for the Wii one would be the right way to go. But I'm still way off the target, so I'd have to say. But with my money being an object, I'll be able to get them all, wouldn't I? So, yeah. But I just want complete.
Honestly, I think we'd all go for a full set of all the stuff that we would go for. But yeah, it's all about the look. It's the passion that you need to go for.
Yeah. Just being able to track them all down and just go, wherever in the world you'd better go. And, if I had to go abroad and pick these things up, I'd do that and actually go in person and get them rather than just order them. I'll go do a trip somewhere and do a worldwide game tour, just going around all the different countries and getting all the games that I need and chuck them in my private jet, and I'll be happy then.
Just imagine that first YouTuber that won the lottery and they can basically pick up what they want. Like, that'd be pretty impressive. No matter what you think of that person, I think everyone would enjoy seeing the the stuff that they waste their money on, because we all love that stuff. We do. No matter who we are, we love that stuff.
We'd have to buy an editor though, because none of us are any good at that stuff.
You could have your own studio though. You just employ people to do it, couldn't you? Edit my videos. That's what you're gonna do. Yeah. Get Tony Hawks in to do that. You can buy Tony Hawks and get edit videos.
How much will it cost on Fiverr? You know what I mean? Like, just go edit my video, Fiverr.com.
I'd get that riff from the Pixel Game Squad. He seems to be editing a lot of people's videos.
Jo said she's glad all the Wii games she got what she wanted before they started going up in price. So there we go. Right then, round 3, last round. James, I'm sure it was your third choice, presuming Eddie hasn't got it.
Well, I've decided to change my third choice, and I thought I might ask for the lunar lander from the Apollo 11 mission.
Oh, he's got that as well.
He's got that as well. Bloody hell.
To the basement, yeah.
Never mind, eh? No, my real third item is the thing that I covet most from my childhood, really. And anybody who's watched my channel knows what my favourite game is. And so my ultimate item would be the sit-down hydraulic outrun cabinet.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
Yeah, I thought you might have.
but like Craig, who I got a lot, like most of the stuff that you mentioned, he actually used to have that.
Oh, right, really?
Yeah.
Does that hold a fond memory then, James?
Yeah. I mean, every arcade I used to go in when I was on holiday, Outrun was the only game I was interested in playing. I'd walk straight past loads of other cool games, obviously. And I'd occasionally play other things, like Chase HQ or like you've mentioned, Operation Wolf. But it was always Outrun that captivated me. And it'd usually be the stand-up one I'd play because it was cheaper, obviously. The credits weren't as much as the sit-down one. But every now and again I would play the sit-down hydraulic one, and it's just so many like nostalgic childhood memories. It's the music on Outrun is the best game music ever for me.
Yeah.
And just cruising down and the cabinet swinging from side to side. To be able to experience that, in your own house, I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to be the person that's got to carry it up into his loft, though.
Oh, yeah. There's got to be some changes.
You're gonna have what I have.
You'd have bought a bigger house by then, wouldn't you, James?
Well, exactly.
James, get to Arcade Club. They've both got them cabs. Both of them have got like Leeds or Bury. Both got that cab. Yeah,
it's on my list. I'm going to get there at some point.
Because I'll probably have it at one point,
Oh, you'd be about to. I'll just wait for you to buy it. It'll be easier.
Joking. But yeah, tie up as well.
Keith says it's Al's game aimed to every single Peppa Pig game in existence.
Yeah. I think Rob made a good point there.
Yeah, I'm just going to come down to that one, yeah. Sean says, full sets of dumb to the Dreamcast, and eventually I realised how much money I'd spent on games I didn't want to play.
Fully agree with that.
Yeah. Craig had every cab, yeah, we've covered that. Mr. Tapman's here as well, says Big Game Alice live from Merseyside. Maybe not. Yeah. Rob says, "Where's the fun in collecting, or the real fun in finally getting something if it becomes easy to get something because monkeys are no object? What are monkeys got to do with it?"
It means money, obviously.
Oh right, okay.
Go monkeys, though. That's no.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It's a fair point, but if you've got to go and buy Japanese exclusives, you can always go to Japan and do it, I suppose. But
Yeah.
as Sean said, if everything is accessible, there's no fun left. But
That is true.
No, but there is, because there's something about having that game that you really want to play that you've seen in the magazines years ago, like, because that, for me, like I've seen so many games I wanted in the past, and it's like they've been inaccessible because of either been import games or whatever, and never been able to get them. And like now it's a little bit easier now, but it's also a money thing, and money thing is not easy as well. And it's like you can get one maybe every so often, and it's like it's so good to actually eventually get that one game that you've seen in that magazine 20, 30 years ago. Oh man, there's something great about it. And then usually it like disappoints you, but that one game that doesn't disappoint you is amazing. I love it. Like, yeah, it's great.
What's more fun though? Playing that one game that you spent all this money on because you really wanted it, or going out to all the charity shops, the car boots, all the hunting,
Drugs, women, sex, alcohol, everything like that.
The absolute entirety of the fun for me is just playing the games. So that's the thing. I would be much happier not putting any effort into acquiring them and just getting to play them.
Yeah.
Stuart wants a monkey now, and Ross said he'd happily have a monkey to swap carts and discs for him. Keith said that's why I don't do full sets. I'd rather have the games. I'll actually have fun playing. Yeah. Okay. So what's your third choice in chat? I don't know if you change your name down.
I've done it, and then I completely forgot. I was like, "Who the hell's chat?" Yeah, my last. It's a full set, but it's not a full set of games. I get all of the analog consoles, like the I can't remember what they call them, Mega SG or something like that. But they're like FPGA based emulation consoles, and I mean, I'm not like a snob or anything like that. I've got my Retro Freak and it does it fine. But I just like to have kind of just like a fleet of these consoles, and they cost an arm and a leg, so I would never actually consider buying one now. So I don't know how many there are. I know there's a SNES one, there's a Mega Drive one, there's a PC Engine one, there's probably a few more. I just get the whole set of those.
Okay. Sean says I don't have Everdrives. It makes me play the games I have, not the games that I want. So that's an argument that can go on.
Yeah.
I actually do some similar. Like, there's some games that like I know I can't ever own. Because they're thousands of pounds, and I'll play them. But the ones that I feel like I could maybe one day own, I won't play them until I've actually owned them. But I'll play them on the Everdrive. I own a lot of most of my Mega Drive games. I played on my Everdrive, not actually on the actual cartridge.
Yeah.
It's weird.
A lot of them games cost money, so surely you'd want to play it first on the Everdrive, see if you like it or not. Because like Eddie said earlier, he's played some games he don't like them because he's paid all this money for them, whatever, and he didn't like them. So surely you want to try them and go, you know what, I do like that game, I will buy it.
Yeah, that's what I use mine for.
Yeah.
I just use mine
There's
because I
no
do it
point
direct.
waiting, paying God knows how much for a game, putting it in and going, why have I bought this? This is absolute garbage.
No.
When you could have tried it first.
That's the thing, especially with like more modern generations, at least. The ones that do cost the most are the ones that no one bought in the first place because the shit. Yeah. So I mean, that's not a blanket rule, but like it's like like I've said before. I remember back. It's not so much now, but back years back, you'd go into Game Station. There'd be a full wall of like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas because every single person bought it. It was like 98% rated game, whether you like it or not. It was like universally loved by critics. Everyone had bought it, finished it, and took it back, and it was dirt cheap because everybody had already had it and no one wanted it anymore.
Well,
you get the games that no one bought, and they're now more scarce because of that, because there's less of an aftermarket because no one bought it in the first place, and that's why they cost more.
It's like,
So
it's
if
like
you-
when you go to car boot sale. If you don't come away with or at least see GTA on the PlayStation 2,
Yeah.
then well, I don't know. I don't think I've ever been to a car boot, even if it's 3 stalls long. I've never seen it.
Well, how many
Yeah,
GTAs did Jim buy today? half of the games.
But at the same time, it still holds a little bit of value
Yeah.
to say how common it is. It's like
back when the PS3, like around the end of the PS2, start of the PS3 time, though, they were just everywhere, and they were like £1.50 a pop. But what I'm saying though is like that's a really good game. Whether you like it or not, it is a really good game. And that was you could get that for dirt, but a game that is so crap that no one bought it in the first place is now more scarce because no one's bought it and nobody's traded it in, and that's the only way you can get these games now. So a lot of the time you are paying more for shit games, but it's not a blanket rule, but that's like
definitely not a blanket rule. Definitely not a blanket rule.
Well, like this one.
it's not a blanket rule, but yeah, like that one there.
Yeah, NBA.
I actually love this game. It's like
It's NBA
NBA.
Street.
No, actually, no. I'm not a football player, but I actually really like the FIFA Streets games.
The NBA Street, because no one plays NBA over here, it's worth quite a bit of money now. I didn't realise.
I'd never played the street games. Sean says, pure nostalgia me buy a game and it's shite, it makes him feel 12 again. That's very true, because if you went back then, if you hadn't got that much money around, and you bought one game, you're buying a game of base. If it was rubbish, then that was it. There was no trade-ins or anything going back to the sort of late 80s, early 90s. There wasn't anything like that. It wasn't really until sort of a little bit further into the Mega Drive, Super Nintendo Live that you started seeing places doing rentals, and then the trading started from there. So you only had a limited amount of money. As Rob said, if you save up for it, then the reward's greater. Proud of his collection because how he's got it. Dylan says, and NES, the Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, and Game Boy are the systems analog built, PC engine, CDs in the works.
Yeah, I probably won't get the Game Boy one, to be honest, but the other ones I'd love to have, but I just wouldn't pay what they're asking for them. I'd probably stick a Polymega on top of that as well, because I wouldn't pay for a Polymega either.
A question for you as well, Pete. You still collecting the 10-gen games?
I've not bought one for a long time. I've still got 6, I think, left to get, but I don't know. I kind of dropped off it. I need to finish my collection.
Okay. Right then, Eddie, your final choice then.
Oh, all right, okay. So, right, Annex's Arcade Club, DJ Hero. I fucking love DJ Hero. So I would have a DJ. I would have just a whole DJ room, and I would have DJ decks everywhere. Can that count in this?
That's a tenuous link.
Would that include? Would that include
If they could use if they would actually use the DJ Hero turntables only, you can have it.
No, it'll be just decks. I love DJing. I love DJing. I'm DJ. And yeah, but like I say, I've thought of like lottery wins too much, and that would be the third annex of my house. But yeah, that's not included. So yeah, the one game that I really want that is valuable, I really want just as a game would be. I mean, obviously, I could go for full sets. I've won the lottery. I could do it. One game would be. God, there's so many of them. What would it be? What's that shooter called? Eliminate Down. Oh my goodness. Eliminate Down. I would love that game. It's like a grand. Last time I saw it, it was a grand, and that was like 2 or 3 years ago. It's a Japanese only Mega Drive shooter. I would love that game. I would love it, but the price of it is just so obnoxious. I would just never just go and buy it. It's just. I like my expensive games, but man, like that is just too crazy. But I play on my Everdrive all the time. I love playing it. I enjoy playing it. And people say expensive games, usually because no one's bought them because they're bad, this is a good game for an expensive price. I actually really enjoy it. And it's one of them games that's just, it's enjoyable for expensiveness.
Rob said, if the game's worth thousands, is a waste of money. Simple.
It
If it's
really
worth hundreds, it's a waste of money.
is. There's no reason to buy a game's not worth £1,000. It's not. It really isn't.
This is what I've always said as well. It's a buyer's market. These games only cost this much because somebody's agreed to pay that much for them.
Yep.
It's frustrating. If somebody puts something up at 500 quid, and
there is certain games you can see a little bit of value for, and I will pay that. You don't see them come up all the time. Like, I will pay £100 or so. If you see them a couple of times a year, I mean that is pretty much worth it. But like Rule of Rose comes up like 4 times a month, and people are paying 500 quid for it. That is not a buyer's market. That is just people fucking stupid.
I was thinking same about Symphony of the Night a while back, because every shop I went in had a copy of Symphony of the Night in a glass case, and it's always like 300, 400, 500 quid for it, and it's like, but I see this everywhere. And at the time, I was looking for a copy of what was it now, Roll Cage, on the PS1. Didn't see Roll Cage anywhere, but I saw Castlevania everywhere I went, and yet that was the 500 quid game.
It's because no one's buying it. That's why everyone's buying Roll Cage. It's a good game. No one's buying Castlevania because it's too damn expensive.
Yeah.
There's like
it's a fucking good game.
There's like a percentage of people that want to pay that, and that's all the people that go on YouTube go, I've just spent so much money on a game. Like, who cares? Who cares about that?
In that tone of voice as well. Yeah.
They think that, they're showing off this stuff and people are bothered about it, and no one cares about that.
I'm more impressed if people spend nothing on a game and get it. It's like
yes.
One of the best things I'd seen on YouTube was on CJR. It'd just gone into a garage sale and just seen a box full of SNES games and said, like, I'll give you like $50 for that. And the guy's like, yeah, okay. And he took it away, and it had like 3 copies of Chrono Trigger in it and stuff like that. Just like all sorts just in this box. He got like thousands of dollars for it.
Man, like the thing is, right? I don't disagree. There's nothing fucking more exhilarating than buying something for like a few quid and it's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
But on YouTube, I would well rather someone pay 2 quid for something that is actually worth 2 quid, but they've got a lot of passion for that one game.
Oh yeah.
I love seeing that, and it's like, and that's why I see like my preferred channel is someone. Sorry, I'm pretty proud of each of the game, but I love like seeing people are just starting getting into gaming, and like they're like getting into games that I've played in the past, and they're talking about it the way that I felt like the first time I played them games. And it's like they're reigniting them same feelings, and it's like that's what I prefer to watch. Because
I love that kind of thing as well, but without mentioning any names whatsoever. It's frustrating when they're buying like Call of Duty games for 50 quid and they're like, this is amazing, and it's really not. 50p, sorry.
Call of Duty.
He's talking about Sean.
Sean's not here. I already dissed him. The one time he's not here.
Oh dear me. Right, Keith said he always tried to look for killer but no filler titles. Maybe it's like a buying games to stake. Couldn't realise some of the stuff I bought was total shite. I think we've all been in there on that one. Rachel's favourite game is Feud. It's still $2.99 35 years later. It's just right on that one. It's an old 8-bit title. Rachel Van Basten, I'm going to grab an analog Mega Drive to sit next to my Famicom one. Super Famicom one, sorry. Keith bought Super Metroid, the big box one with the guidebook, 50 quid a few years back now. That's £300. Joe's played Rule of Rose and she didn't think much of it. She had a chance to play it, but never wanted pricey. Keith bought Symphony of the Night for 40 quid because the seller didn't realise the true value of it.
Nice.
He also says 2 PlayStation 1s, a Klonoa and Tombi, but no way am I paying them prices.
Yeah, I'd love to own those.
Yeah. Saturn fans, Holy Grail has to be the Death Crimson gun someone made with a console built into it. I don't know that one, if anybody...
Yeah, man, that's one off, though. That is a real one. I've got Death Crimson on them consoles, but not the one-off.
Like the old consoles you can get as well, ain't it? What they give out just to people who win tournaments, one of a kind.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Got to
Like
know
the Xboxes that they give us to the staff.
There's one Xbox 360 that was like orange and green. I can't remember what it is, but yeah, I would love to get that one.
Yeah, just like because they're so rare, custom made, most of them. But yeah, I'd love to go for a full Peppa Pig set.
You've already got that. You've got to go for it. You've already got it.
Yeah. See, what's the point of having all this money if you've got like no one to share it with? So what I'd do with my last purchase, I'd buy Arcade Club Berry and I'd let you all come in for free every time you come.
I was going to say,
They're going to say you buy some friends, though.
I thought you were going to buy one of these Russian wives you can get, you know.
there's a whole bed of blown dolls down here, Al.
He's got what?
A whole bed of blown dolls underneath there.
Yeah, Eddie, you're not. I thought you said you weren't in our house. I thought you were in your house.
Yeah, no, this is just a remodeling of it.
Yeah.
I just remodeled my under the bed.
Yeah,
Just
I don't know if Eddie has loads of them.
Yeah, because that's what I think.
He buys them real ones. What they make in Japan. What you think is a real person. They talk to you and everything. He's got about 6 of them.
Jedi Buzz. Speaking of Japan, Jedi Buzz is here.
But yeah, like, what's the point of having all this money and buying this one thing that you might play a couple of times when you can buy something like Arcade Club Berry, what's already there, it's already in place. I'd give them loads of money so they wouldn't say no, and then I'd just say, whenever you lot come down, come in. It's open for you. Anytime you want.
I couldn't do anything public because I don't like people touching my shit.
Actually, no, Al makes a good point there, actually, because do you know what? Like, what I said earlier, like, I would love having a whole arcade to myself. An arcade isn't about yourself.
Yeah,
it really isn't. It's all about other
community.
people. Yeah, no, it really is. It's that atmosphere that you could only have with multiple people. So yeah, no, do you know what? I think your idea is probably better than mine.
Has to be Berry though, because like I said about Leeds, it's got all them windows there. Yeah. I prefer Berry. I'd buy the building next to it as well and put all my games consoles in there. Let people play with them as well.
I'd love to see Eddie's dog yacht across Al's bed.
I was thinking earlier, I was willing it to do a shit.
I'm keeping it from now.
It's the only girl that he's had on the bed.
Well, my last choice is, to be honest with you, you sort of stole a bit of thunder off that one, but mine would be, it's not just for myself. I would just speak to people that I knew, and if they wanted something specifically for their collection that they would never be able to afford, then I would just simply say, well, here's the money, there you go. And I would buy people things for their collections that they absolutely needed.
I think a lot of people are more like
share it around,
A lot of people
that'd be pointless to me because Sean already does that.
The thing is, like, we talk about someone like Rob, like, he doesn't want you to buy him it. If he wants it, he's gonna hunt it. He's gonna find it in the wild, or he's gonna find enough stuff to trade in to get it. Some people are like that. I personally wouldn't take anything off anyone. If someone said I've got this, I'd be like, no, I'll find it myself, or I'll pay for it. I don't want it.
But there might be something that you may never be able to get. That holy grail sort of thing. Yeah. I take that point, but I would like to be.
You'll never be able to get this. So
I just like to be generous with it and say to people, look, if there's something that you really, really want, then I'm quite happy to stump for it. And
then here's your zigga.
Exactly. The other option would have been to get the Spice Girls to reform and actually just perform Spice World, and as I say, right, you jump on that square, you jump on that square, and just do that. But no, I won't do that one. No, I would just like to be generous with it and just say to people, look, if you want something, there you go.
I probably do that. I'd probably
I think lottery wins should be like, how could you be insular with a lottery win? Like, I can only think of multiple people with a lottery win. I just don't think it could be. I don't know how would you want that just to be yourself? It wouldn't. It just couldn't be a thing. I don't think. Like I say, with his top 3, but like realistically, like he's always got other people in mind at the same time.
Yeah, it's like the same there. What Rob said about Ridge Racer 6. Like when I went to Donny last year, it was literally the time it had just gone to backwards compatibility, and it was going for like 80, 90, £100 on eBay. And I was just walking around with Glory Hunter before the show opened, and Scott found it and picked it up, and it had £10 on it. Now,
and he said, "You just give me a quick blow, and you can have it for 15."
Scott goes, if you want it, he goes, if you want it, you can have it. You can make the profit from it. I went, fair enough. So I bought it, and I was going to sell it on eBay and get like 80, 90 quid for it. But Paul the Northerner said he needed it because I put it in the group saying, "Look what we found." So I just give it to him for the tenner. I could have said, "Oh no, I want 100 quid for it on eBay," but no, because he needed it for his collection. I just said, "Look, I paid a tenner for it. You can have it for a tenner," and he was grateful because otherwise he would have been looking on eBay and God knows what else. I know it's come down to about 30 quid now, but still, it's still 30 quid, and it should only be a couple of £1 game.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be that much. It's only just because it's gone on that backwards compatible list.
It's like me giving Eddie that art book for Castlevania as well. It's sometimes better to just help out your friends, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come on.
What's the other one? The Alan Wake book. Who did you give that to? The big box set.
Me.
As well. Like these just gravitate towards Pete. To be fair,
Pete's actually got a gross load of them. Just trying to get rid of them out of a warehouse.
It's just whenever I get one out of the door, another one just appears. It's like stray cat.
So that Rob point there. Blind Metal G's just recording these not so rare games, hidden gems. Yeah.
What is that? Play them.
Topic.
Didn't you say this was a hidden gem though? The other day?
Yeah.
It is.
Never charge a penny more than I paid for it.
By the way, this will be for sale after you complete it.
We've got 4% done so far.
Got a long way to go, then, ain't you?
Might be more than a month.
Yeah.
Right, we're getting up to the 2 hours. So anybody got anything to add before we knock off and round up, or
syphilis?
All guys, Friday, be there.
I was gonna ask you very, very quickly, Eddie, about this PlayStation month again for April. And I know you put a short out about it the other day, but as we've got a little bit of time, I thought you just want to mention it quickly. So anybody's not aware of it.
Yeah, so like a few of us, we've all got together. I mean, to be honest, most of us are all PlayStation players that we're playing. But like we did an Xbox month the other month, and then we thought, let's build this up, but like not just do it every month. Like every other month, we'll choose a different console. And yeah, it's PlayStation month this month, and like rather than just go, oh yeah, you're just playing PlayStation. Why not just make your own PlayStation like playlist or whatever? Make a bit of a challenge for yourself. Like if you want to join in, I personally, mine is going to be play a PlayStation game from PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, PSP, and Vita, and I want to play stuff that's I've owned for more than a year. As in, I want to play my backlog. So that's my way into it. But there's other ways. Just you don't have to complete something as well. Like this is what people probably worry about.
I was going to ask that about it, whether you were looking to complete it or not.
Exactly, yeah. Because I think as well, because it's come from we were all talking about like 52 game challenge and stuff like that, and it's like an extension of that. It doesn't have to be. It's like, well, why not do like why try not like see how far up the alphabet you can do in a month? Like even not play it all, but like maybe play every game in the alphabet all the way until the end of the month and see what alphabet number you get to. It doesn't, even if you just play, if you're not like a PlayStation gamer, why not try and play one game? Do you know what I mean? It's like PlayStation month as in like at the end of the month, hopefully there's going to be a few of us going to get together, talk about it. I don't know what channel it's going to be on.
Yours.
But it's going to be something that we're all going to be there. No, I think, to be honest, I'm hoping it's going to be Geordie Slasher because he's big PlayStation advocate. So hopefully it's going to be on his. I'm hoping, and it'll be quite cool to see other people's anecdotes coming back. Oh, I did PlayStation Month, and this is how I did it. It's like the way you did it is, I think, is going to be more impressive than I played 20 games this month. Like I think how cool you can make the PlayStation Month your own will be more impressive than the sheer numbers of what you played. But at the end of the day, it's all about how much you enjoy the PlayStation Month. Like I'm an Xbox guy, and I enjoyed whatever game. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's how you. It's PlayStation Month. Make it your own. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
That's a good idea, mate. And I've got my test my PlayStation out today, so I'm going to get cracking with that next week.
I heard about your PlayStation Month, and I'm quite impressed. And I'm hoping you're going to do a little bit of thing about it, maybe. Hopefully,
I am.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all planned out, mate. I've been working on it today, so
he's going to declare his entry into it.
I have. Now you've got it there live. I've declared my entry. Yeah, there you go. Will you be joining in, James?
Well, I might do. I don't tend to use the PlayStation that often, but maybe I might dust it off.
I think a few people are dusting theirs off at the moment.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've played on mine, so maybe I might drag it out the box and see what takes my fancy.
James, I know you've got a few PlayStation exclusive races on PS1 recently. Like how about doing the PlayStation Month of Races, maybe?
Yeah, that might be.
Because I know you're into that. Like, try and find out the races that are only came out that month, maybe. I mean, even if it means buying them, or maybe looking what you've got and you've not played. That's
a good point.
Ultimately, that's what PlayStation Month is. It's not supposed to be about buying more games. It's supposed to be playing what you've got.
Oh yeah, I mean I've got loads that I haven't sort of even touched, so it's a good opportunity. I might look into it and sort through my box and see what takes my fancy and try something I haven't actually played, which is a good idea, I think.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah,
well, it's supposed to be taking you out of your comfort zone. Like I say, honestly, there's a lot of us that are into our PlayStations, and it's about like. It's supposed to be like dusting off the stuff that you haven't played, because there's stuff that I own for fucking years that I want to play, and this is a way to like push myself into playing it. Really,
exactly. I mean, my backlog's like Mount Everest. You know, I'm never going to get through it. Yeah, but
as well, like we're going to try and do it as well. Like every 3 months, we're going to go through different genres. Console, like hopefully it's going to be a Nintendo month, and then maybe a Sega month, and then hopefully we'll revisit them every other 3 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Cool. I think, like I say, it's just going to be a backlog clearing exercise, really.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I could do the push, so maybe
There's a few people commenting about their PlayStations. Joe and Rach hopefully will join in as well. Jedi Boy says we can do PlayStation races. So, yeah, it looks like a lot of people picked up on that, Eddie. So that should be an interesting month for everybody. I look forward to seeing what we all turn out with. Right then, guys, I'll just under the 2 hours, so I'll knock that off on the head now. Thanks very much, first of all, to our special guest, James, Retro and Import Gamer in the top right-hand corner. Thank you very much for coming on, mate. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, all great. Thanks, Ed. Russ?
No worries. And don't forget, James is nominated for YouTuber of the Month. Go across Generation Pixels channel, and you'll be able to see the little nominees there as well. Hope you have hope you're on again soon, James. If we can arrange it, we'll have another topic and we'll talk through that.
Yeah, that'd be
big
great,
thanks. No worries, mate. Big thanks to Chat in the bottom right-hand corner for turning up this evening. Pink Fighter 2, thank you very much, mate. Interesting. And great to have Eddie and Al on tonight, completely unexpectedly. Depending on where they're based, they may be in Al's bedroom, they may be in Eddie's bedroom, I don't know, but it's going to be an interesting evening for the pair of them after this. Let's put it that way.
Creation in Rochester.
But no, it's great to have you on, guys. Thanks very much for popping by and doing that as well. They've got you all backstage. I'll say goodbye to everybody in the chat and give everybody a quick wave before you go as well, please. There you go. Off into the distance. Right, that was fun, wasn't it? I was completely unexpected and thrown by that, but nice to have the guys in. Thanks once again to everybody who's been in the chat this evening, commenting as we've been going through about what's been going on. There's been interesting points raised. It's an interesting subject, money being no object. Yes, I can see why people say it takes the fun out of doing it. It's one of those hypothetical situations, isn't it? I doubt many of us, any of us, will be in that situation at any point where we've got that sort of money available to complete our collections as such anyway. But we shall see. In the meantime, we're going to ride off into the distance. We're back in 2 weeks' time. We've already got our guests lined up for that one. We're going to be talking more gaming issues in a couple of weeks' time, and also on the 1st of May. Got slots available for, I think, the 15th to the 29th of May. If you want to get in contact with me about coming on a future episode of the tNb, it doesn't have to be those dates. It could be another date in the future. We do. Email addresses below. Please do get in touch. Said to Joe and Rach earlier, the invitation extended to you both. I would love to get you both on here and have the ladies on and have a chat with you about those. So please do get in contact. Likewise as well, Desert Island Games, the series I did last year and the year before, I talked to YouTubers about their gaming history and their journey. If you want to get involved with that, the email address is there below as well. So that's that for now. Thanks very much indeed for your time this evening. Great to have you all here again. Do take care when you're going home as well, and let's hope Eddie gets home safely, possibly tomorrow now. We'll see you again very soon, but this is the Retro Bear saying